We're at the London Transport Museum depot at Acton, and we've just built a working Lego tube map, like this. The plan was simple: get together some friends in a transport-themed location, and then have enough Lego tracks and trains to put together the Zone 1 Circle Line area of the tube map, and run working Lego trains around it. However, I only have one box of Lego train track, which is only enough to make a very small version of the Circle Line. But my friend Chris has a lot more Lego than me, and so after convincing him into helping me out, I drew up a plan on graph paper to see how much Lego track we would need, and spent an afternoon in his garden piecing together a test version of it to make sure that it was going to work. And his dog helped out a little too. We then realised that we'd need some wooden support to allow different lines to cross over each other, and so got to work on constructing those. And when we got to the point where we were ready, we all travelled by 1938 tube stock train and met up at the London Transport Museum depot at Acton to put the whole thing together. Ready? Let's build a Lego tube map. This is our guide. This took ages to do. There's actually 3 versions of this. I did one on A4, then I did like a medium-sized version, and then this is the large version. So we have to make this. Building the test version in Chris's garden turned out to be essential. All we had to do was put together the wooden sections first.
It's the south part of the western side of the Circle Line.
That goes in there.
This also looks like
Lovely.
a 6 though.
No,
I think
that doesn't reach.
We're going to screw in these supports to elevate the Circle Line.
You're going to elevate the Circle Line.
I know, I'm going to get complaints, aren't I? I know. We know the Circle Line is below the Victoria Line and the Central Line, just for the purposes of making it work. In real life,
It's about time. It's about time.
I'm not.
What was built first? What was built next?
with the actual underground, 4 of the lines were built using a method known as cut and cover, and today are known as the subsurface lines. They're typically about 5 metres below the surface. Whereas the remaining 7 lines are known as deep level tube lines, which reach up to depths of 20 metres below the surface. But for our reconstruction today, weaving the lines amongst each other to get them all working is far too complicated. But if we elevate a couple of lines instead above the others, we should be able to get several working. It's too hard to get all the levels working.
I'm not from around here, and I'm not okay with it.
A bit of counting,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
a bit of referring to the map,
Unless 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
and we slowly assembled the circle line before we then elevated it off of the floor. To make this work is that we've got all these wooden supports so that then other tracks can then fit in around. We're raising the circle line, I know. The Lego track is screwed to the wood,
You screw through the track, you've got screw holes, go down into it.
and then the wood is screwed on down onto the supports.
Ah, there we go. That's the right drill bit. Oh.
And it wasn't entirely without mishap. Charles Tyson Yerkes did not use wooden supports in the construction. And construction is obviously warm work.
It's a little bit warm in here. Yeah, I'm running around like a mad thing.
Is it your first time in the depot?
My first time in the depot.
It is great, isn't it?
It's incredible.
Why is it incredible?
Because it's very big. It's like London Transport Museum times 10.
They're just about there with the circle line, so I'm going to get the central line going. Madly enough, the Victoria line is going to go over the top of this. It's going to look great. Are you saying that we should do the floor stuff next?
Floor stuff first, otherwise the Central and Victoria supports are going to get in the way.
And we can work the supports around the floor stuff.
Exactly.
So we need to do all the floor lines next.
Which line are we aiming for?
Straights.
Yeah.
Curves. No, the central's elevated, the Victoria's elevated. What we need to do is the northern. Everyone's favourite rapidly becomes the Waterloo and City line because it doesn't conflict with anything else.
I'm building the Waterloo and City Line. The easiest thing to build.
And my original plan had been to have the Jubilee line running, but Paul realises that if we put the northern over the Jubilee, we can have both branches of the northern running, which will look cool.
Jubilee's at ground level,
Yes, please.
and that's the grey one, isn't it?
How do you not know what the colour of the Jubilee is?
Entry level.
Can you name all 11 colours without looking?
All 11 colours.
And whilst Paul relearns the colours, you might be interested to know that in total, we used 336 straight pieces of track, 109 pieces of curved track, and 6 point sections. Everybody always falls into like a natural role. Emily and Paul doing a sterling job and just being like, no, left a bit, down a bit, that way,
My
that
tube
way.
map memory is like It's not right, it's not right. I love it when I was on a train and it said, the Waterloo and City line is part suspended. And I was like, but where?
Which part?
Where is it part suspended?
It just goes from bank to the middle and then comes back the other way.
Chris puts together the struts, which are going to elevate the central line above everything else. And then before we can add the station names to the map, Dominic has a little surprise for me as he's custom made some Lego characters.
It's in selfing mode.
It's in something.
And you lined up.
So we've got Dominic and Geoff.
Okay, yeah.
You should like that. You made these.
I made those.
Thank you. We have pretty much built the whole thing, what we're building. We're literally going to add a touch of colour to it. I spent a lot of evenings cutting up coloured card in the colour of the lines.
I guess I'm doing the northern line then.
Some of them might be too. I might need to get the scissors out and give it a little trim. This was done with a pencil and a ruler late at night. If I was at school, I'd have like a guillotine. I could have like done it, precision. But that might be too wide.
This looks really good. Not that I had any doubts that it would. It just looks better than I expected. It looks like the tube map and I love it.
Who's put the buses here? Mini Geoff, that's who.
Yeah, with the cardboard line colours being added to the map, it really starts to take shape and look like a proper tube map. Some fine tuning, using scissors just to snip and shape some of the pieces of cardboard was required, even if one of the colours wasn't exactly what I wanted.
The purple, it's more Elizabeth line purple than Metropolitan line. Would you call Metropolitan line burgundy? What would you call the Met?
Like maroon?
Maroon.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know, I'll give it to a point.
I confess,
Yeah.
this is probably, we're using an Elizabeth line colour for the Metropolitan line, sorry.
And for the total professional touch, it's time to add some station names.
We now enter the quiz show round of the Lego Tube Map, which is placing the tube map names on the map. Who wants to place some station names? I give you Notting Hill Gate. You've got 3 seconds, go. Dominic, I give you Battersea Power Station.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
Win.
It's right
It's
here.
down there, isn't it?
It's-
Yeah,
so it's-
I thought so.
I was going to give you Edgware Road.
Okay.
And Camden Town.
But is this Bakerloo Edgware Road or is this Hamilton City Edgware Road?
Have Victoria and Charing Cross as well.
Okay, thank you.
And if
I'll place them.
If you need any clues, just have a look at your t-shirt.
Okay, I'll just look down.
And whilst we play station names, let's have a quick mention of where we are today.
Yeah, so today's filming is taking place thanks to the London Transport Museum. We're at their depot at Acton. Thank you. If you've never been, you may have been to the museum at Covent Garden, but across from Acton Town Tube Station, they have their depot. They have 3 open weekends a year, plus you can book a tour and come around and have a look round. There's all these trains, there's a whole lot of buses, there's this incredible section here with old maps. It's like a working depot. It's a fantastic place. There is a link in the description. If you think you've been to the London Transport Museum, but haven't been to the depot at Acton, then you need to come and see this place.
Full details are on their website, but you can find out about the open days, art and poster store tours, depot family tours, and depot discovery tours. ltmuseum.co.uk.
Sorry, I've just seen including, look, a Lego tube map. Do you remember these from about 10 years ago? There were 5 designed as art installations across the network. So we've taken that and we've done it on an even larger scale.
We're almost ready to run our first test train, but before we do, a quick word on the scale.
Lego gauge, or L gauge informally, is 1 to 40-ish scale.
Ish.
Track gauge of 37.5 millimetres, and it fits in between O gauge and 1 gauge, and yeah, broadly that's how it works. Because it's a perfect garden railway, it doesn't matter if it gets wet.
I don't have a garden. Do you have a garden?
I have a garden.
Do you want to take this home and put it in your garden?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Chris's Lego, you can't do that. Chris has got some custom-made tube trains. I'm going to run my regular Lego City train over the tracks just to see if any of the card conflicts. If it does, we'll stick it down or tape it down.
So I felt it would only be fitting really if Geoff took a ride on his own railway, except he's a bit too out of scale. So we've got Geoff with camera and Geoff will go for a little ride.
We sent Lego Geoff round first, and with his clearance, it was time to run the test trains.
Go!
We called in the crack team from Network Lego, or my friend Paul as he's called, to iron out the kinks and straighten and fix any of the bits of tracks where it wasn't quite level. And then, so that we didn't have to run the Lego System City trains around, Chris had been busy building these.
This is a custom tube train. I've used little can top pieces for lights, these little satin pieces. If you pretty much look at it, it's going to fall apart, as you can see, but they're all individually motorised and hopefully they don't break. They're also so long I've had to extend them that they don't actually turn corners if you connect them to each other.
So we're just seeing that the train can run on every line. Paul, if there's any issues, do you have scissors?
I have scissors.
Okay, I think the Northern Line is working. Are we set for Battersea, Dominic, are we set for Battersea Power Station?
We are, yes, we are.
Circle Line's working, Northern Line's working, Central Line is working, Waterloo and City Line is working.
This is the most functional and proper line, the only line we have the complete thing of on this map. And it works perfectly.
Test trains complete, everything in working order. Time to assign some lines to people.
So Emily, Waterloo and City. Paul, what would you like? Northern Line. Jen?
Steal that from you.
I think you've got to take...
I've got to take Central.
Central. Okay, can I take the Victoria?
And it's time to play with trains, Lego trains, on a giant tube map.